Helping story, we are finding out where white privilege cards originated. 23's Tony Motorzitsky joins us live with who created these cards in the first place.
His name is Joel Patrick, and he's actually African American. Now, parents I spoke with say this is intended for comedic relief, but there's nothing humorous about these.
I'm the legendary black redneck.
This is the Joel Patrick Show.
Uncle Tom, 'cause I act white. Pro 2A, that's gun rights like a bald eagle. Take flight. You can say what you want. I don't give a.
Now, here's your host, Joel Patrick.
How's everybody doing today? Welcome to the first episode of the Joel Patrick Show. My name is Joel Patrick. I'll be your host, and we're going to explore a whole plethora of topics, starting with the one we have today. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the Joel Patrick Show. All right, we're going to get right into it. I'm here with the incredible founder and creator of Tucker Enterprises, a local tree removal company. Mr. LJ Tucker, thank you so much for being here.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
So we're going to have a little bit of a debate. So I hope you brought your debate cap because it's about to get interesting.
Oh, we'll see what we got for you.
We are going to have the debate of whether or not you believe that the majority of people should go to college in order to be employed. And I would like to preface this conversation by saying you did go to college, correct?
I have 2 years of college. I did not graduate from college. So I do agree that education is important, whether you get it at college, a technical school, or just on-the-job training. Education is education. It's not education should never be neglected like you don't have to have it.
Right, but I don't disagree that we should be educated. Obviously, you need to be educated before you do a job. I disagree that the number of people currently going to college is a reasonable number of people and that those people should be going to college. I think that way too many people are getting college degrees in things that are completely useless. I mean, why are you getting a degree and then going and working at Starbucks? That didn't make any sense. You don't need a degree to pour coffee.
Well, a degree is a degree.
Incorrect. A degree is only valuable if it's has a purpose and can generate you revenue. It's a waste of your money to spend money on a degree that does not make you money.
I disagree. Because a degree, like I said, is a degree and it's going to educate you in some shape or form, regardless of how you use it down the road. Let me further explain. If I was to have an open heart surgery, I don't want the guy without that doctorate degree giving me open heart surgery.
Right. No, and we're not arguing that there shouldn't be education. Big fan of trade school right here. I think that everyone who wants to be a tree guy, a welder, any of the trades should go to trade school. I'm a big fan of trade school. And I don't think that all college degrees are useless. I think that any degree that's science, engineering, technology, or math is a useful degree. And if you go into that field, that makes sense. But it doesn't make sense to go and get a degree just for the sake of getting a degree, to graduate and say, look, I got a degree. I think a lot of degrees you could do without a business degree. You could do without a psychology degree. You could do a bunch of these different degrees. Any degree in any type of like African-American studies, to me, that's a useless degree. Why would you want to know at a collegiate level about racial history?
Well, I can say from experience, my 2 years at college has prepared me for business. Did I graduate? Absolutely not.
So then you didn't need the degree?
I didn't need the degree, but the experience I got while I was in college, it's you can't replace it. It's almost, you can't even explain it. Those were two of the best years of my life in college.
But what kind of experience did you have? Drinking and chasing girls? No.
My experience from college was actually learning how to solve problems.
But you already knew how to solve problems.
Well, it helped me further deepen my horizons, so to speak. It prepared me for business. It taught me how to do things that I might have not wanted to do, like as far as preparing for a test that I didn't want to take.
Right, but how many tests have you taken since you left college?
A bunch of them.
What tests have you taken?
I took the arborist test and became an arborist.
Fair enough.
Life tests, there's tests within tests in life in order for you to graduate and go to another level in life, because it's impossible to get to certain levels in life without understanding, so to speak, on how to graduate from a current stand that you may be at. It's like people that want to win a championship, and you have certain people chase rings, and until you know how to win and close the deal, you can't even be a good salesperson.
Right, but being a salesperson isn't something you can be educated in. People either have it or they don't. I disagree. People can either sell or they can't. I don't believe that you teach people to be leaders. I don't believe you teach people salespeople, and I don't think you teach people to be like articulate spokespeople. Some people have the special sauce and some people don't, and that's okay. And I think people should go where they're most gifted. I think there's too much follow your dreams and not enough of do what you have to, because a lot of people come into life with this ideology that you can go and live your dreams. dream. Let me give you a perfect example. Professional athletes. Do you know what percentage of people become professional athletes?
Maybe 2 or 3%.
Not even.
Okay.
It's not even 1%.
Okay.
But we tell kids in high school practice, you're going to get there. No, you're not. Realistically, you're not. And even if you do get there, what's the average professional career of a professional athlete?
I'm not sure on
3
that
to 5 years?
But
So that's not a career. What are you going to do at the end of 5 years?
But when you
We're
say
telling people to be prepared, society as a whole.
who's society telling it? Because that's incorrect. Maybe if you grew up in a certain background, like maybe, and they believe in you're going to get a scholarship and play ball and this, that, and another. That's just not practical. Like,
Okay,
it
if you get
depends
a
on your
scholarship and you get a full ride, absolutely take that. That's free education. Go for it.
but still,
But
but
I'm
who's
saying
telling-
people who go into debt to get a degree to not even be able to make the payments on the debt so that they can live a lifetime in debt. What is the purpose of that?
Well, I agree. People make bad decisions.
No, but we are pushing an entire generation of people to better themselves with a college degree that does not better themselves. One, the degree doesn't earn enough income to even cover its cost. So that's by textbook definition of a bad investment. Two, they get a degree that's useless. So there's no possibility for employment in that degree. Or three, they overeducate themselves for what it is that they're going to do.
But it's easy for you to say, but when you keep saying society, who is we? Is there a particular
Well, I mean, there was an entire generation of people that pounded it into my generation's heads that if we didn't go to college, we were going to be homeless. And then in reality, what happened is all of my friends that I know that went to college are not doing as well as all my friends that went out and started a business, even something basic. I have a friend who's worth millions of dollars now. You know what he started? Car washes. He started by washing cars by hand. He saved up money, bought his first car wash. Now I think he owns like 6 or 8 car washes. He didn't go to college. And he's making great money. And he was made fun of by other people who went to college. And then they graduated from college with a lot of debt. They hated their lives. So they went and worked somewhere they didn't want to work in a degree field that they didn't even study. People do not use their college degree that they got in college, and they do not get employed in the field in which they got their degree.
But those are not all facts.
That is literally a fact.
From where?
It's based on the Bureau of Labor Statistics.
The Bureau of, I would like to see that because I
can pull it up for you.
The reason why I asked that, you don't have to pull it up at this time. So that's something that we'll go over. People that don't succeed after having a college degree, they wasn't serious about it anyway. Either, like you said, they was pressured into it, or they was not really clear on what it is they wanted to do in life. But you still can't take that experience from them.
I'm 18 years old. I come up to you. I say, hey, Mr. Tucker, can I have $100,000? You say, what do you need it for? And I say, I'm going to get a degree. You say, okay. And I said, are you going to be able to pay me back the $100,000? No, sir. Would you give me the $100,000?
No, number one, I'm not the bank, so I'm not giving you $100,000 anyway.
But do you think that it's like problematic for society to loan 18-year-olds money to go get a degree that they can't pay the money back with? You're setting them up for failure. You're setting them up for debt. You're setting them up for a lifetime of problems before they've even really started their life.
A lot of times that's bad parenting and you don't see that. So I'll give you an example. If you got to pay $100,000 for college, that means you chose out-of-state tuition because in-state tuition doesn't cost that much. Well,
easily get to
well, if you can't afford to go to a private school, again, you're starting off bad from the get-go, off rip. And that's bad parenting to send you to a school and allow you to go to a school and enable you.
And in-state tuition, I believe, is only for undergraduates. So if you go to med school, it could be $50,000 a year.
No, in-state, when I went in-state, and it's not as much. At the time, I think it was $150.
For graduate school, it's still...
I don't know the exact numbers, but when I went, it was like maybe $150
okay,
a credit.
let's go with a teacher, right? So how much did you say it was a credit hour when you went to school?
It was like $150 a credit hour.
You're not getting anywhere. That's 100. You could, maybe community college will get you $150.
I was at a community, but still.
But I'm saying like now, if you go to like any state school, it's significantly more than that. The average person, I believe, graduates with $35,000 minimum of student loans.
And that's because they grew up in a family. They didn't have the financial background. And then
No, because if you don't have the financial background, you can actually go to school for free.
Okay. So
the government gives you Pell Grants and all that. No, I'm saying like, we'll go with the teacher, right? Let's say that a teacher goes to a state tuition college. Let's say that they pay $15,000 a year. They pay $15,000 a year for college. They graduate. They spent $60,000 on their education. The average income for a teacher in the United States, I believe, now correct me if I'm wrong, is $37,000 a year. If your average income is $37,000, you started your career with, and that's if you didn't go to graduate school. You started your career with, let's say that they took out student loans for all of it. You started with $60,000 in debt. The compounding interest will prevent them from ever paying that off if they make the minimum payment, or even if they make double the minimum payment, They're never paying that off.
There's no interest. It goes into forbearance. If you take a student loan, there's no interest until after your forbearance period.
How long is the forbearance period?
I don't know, 10, 15, 20 years.
It's not that long.
A lot of times people just don't pay their debt. And this is why they get stuck with student loans.
But why are they taking the debt to begin with?
Well, so I'll give you an example. When I was in college, I didn't have the money to go to college. I took out loans, but guess what? I paid it back. I didn't pay it back right away.
Also a businessman who's now employed in an area that isn't what you studied.
But
that would be more in favor of mine because you're in a trade, correct?
Well,
and you're successful in a trade.
Well, I took mass communications. In mass communications, the courses that I took helped me tremendously in business.
Didn't you tell me you've always had a gift for communication, even when you were a child?
Absolutely, I had a gift for it, and there's nothing wrong with honing your skills. A lot of time when people go to college,
but you don't need college to hone your skills.
You're right. You can learn, and I haven't had college to hone my skills even more.
But what's the most valuable? What's your most valuable asset right now? What's the best thing that you're absolutely the best at?
Being a father.
Okay. Did you need a college degree for that?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
But it helped. It put me in a position.
If you don't mind me putting this out there, you've built a very successful business.
Very successful.
Right.
But
and to the people watching, I'm not going to go too much into his personal finances, but it's very successful. He is very good at what he does, and he didn't have a college degree to do it.
But listen, I have 5 beautiful children, and the thing that I teach them.
Did you encourage them to go to college?
Well, my youngest will be 7 next Sunday. So I'm encouraging them to learn everything they can. And guess what? It'll be different from that. If they choose to go to college, they have help financially. I'm teaching them financial literacy that I didn't have. So it's not the problem.
Did they teach you financial literacy in college?
I didn't learn financial literacy growing up, but I learned it.
Did you learn it in college?
I learned more of the concept of financial literacy in college. Remember, my background is different than some, but everybody has a story to tell. So I'm not going to tell my entire story. If you want to hear my story, you can buy my book, 7,000 Volts, Living an Electrified Life, because it tells a lot about my story.
Did you hear that, folks? You can read his book that he wrote without going to college and get education.
Hey, I didn't get a degree education, but I did get educated while I was at college. So that's I think people miss the journey.
What education did you get at college you couldn't have gotten outside of college?
It's not, see, some people make it about the degree and it's about the journey while you're at college. And so the journey for me was very tremendous.
What year did you graduate from high school?
96.
And what year did you go to college?
98 to 2000.
Okay, so 98 to 2000.
I stand corrected.
You graduated in 96?
96.
I was born in
95. I stand corrected. Yeah, I started college in 98 to 2000. I said that correctly.
Okay. So you graduated high school in 96?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember what your GPA was?
No.
Okay. How much stuff did they pound into your head, even in high school, that you graduated and you realized you were never going to use again?
Well, that's not true. Everything that I learned in high school, I still use it today.
You use everything you learned in high school today?
I use the fundamental things that I learned in high school.
Did you learn world geography in high school?
Yes.
And what do you use, and how do you use world geography today?
I hired an accountant for that stuff now.
You didn't hire an accountant for world geography?
Hey, listen. So in high school.
Okay, let me ask you this. What continent is the country of Tajikistan on?
I don't know.
It's in Asia.
Okay. I don't know.
You learned that in high school, not important. You didn't remember it. How many times a day do you use the Pythagorean theorem that you learned in high school?
Probably none at all.
Okay, so would you agree that even in high school, they teach you a lot of information that they said, this is important for you to learn. It would be better off if they didn't teach it to you at all and spent the time teaching people about their credit score, teaching people about financial literacy, like what you said, teaching people about compound interest, teach you about loans, teach you about good debt versus bad debt. We were having this conversation the other day. They don't teach you those things in college. They don't teach you those things in high school. Our education system is designed exactly the way it was supposed to be, to create a nation of workers. It was not designed to create entrepreneurs, and it does not create entrepreneurs. I didn't get what I needed out of college. I didn't get what I needed out of high school. Well, it's not designed to create success. It's designed to create a mindless work. More people should definitely pursue trade school, should start their own business. The reasoning is all of those people that overeducated themselves with useless degrees, those degrees are going to be replaced almost entirely by AI. You're not getting an AI to go cut a tree, to climb up over your house and swing out 1,000-pound logs over your roof line. You're not getting that. You're not getting an AI to run piping through your house so that you can have hot water and cold water in your kitchen. You're not getting an AI to come pump your septic tank out. That's why I believe that this push towards the trades and this push towards less useless degrees is going to be beneficial for America.
Well, you can't say that they're useless. A degree is never useless when somebody invested their time. regardless of how they use it.
Regardless of whether or not somebody invests their time, investing your time doesn't make something valuable. If I got a degree in underwater basket weaving, is that a useless degree? If I'm the best underwater basket weaver you've ever met in your life, is that a useless degree?
No,
Why?
because
Do you like underwater baskets?
no, I don't. But if that's what you got your degree in, guess what you'll be able to do with your children?
Weave baskets underwater.
No, you'll be able to teach them the importance of education regardless if you use it or not.
So I can teach them the importance of something that has no importance.
Nothing has not. Education itself, school itself does not have unimportance. I think you're missing a part of the journey. We live in a social media world. Everybody hides behind the click and we're cutting out the social aspect of life. Sometimes college do nothing more than create the social experience in life that a person needs.
So you think the social experience that is provided in college is necessary? Socialization is absolutely necessary for development because they took a bunch of babies in Russia and they're like, I wonder what happens if we raise them for a year and don't show them any socialization and no attention. Guess what happened to all the babies?
What happened?
In the study? They all died. So it turns out we do need socialization.
Yeah, so listen,
Just because you say something confidently doesn't mean it's true.
listen. So the point that I'm just trying to make, education has so many aspects to it, college education as well, that you don't
But
need to
I'm
see
not
in
against
service.
education. I'm against organized collegiate level education in areas where there doesn't need to be. Would you agree that there are useless degrees?
There's no useless degree. That's just like asking, there's no dumb question that you can ask. Listen,
There is such a thing as a dumb question.
no, it's not.
Really?
Yes.
Ready?
The one
Can I
that's-
ask a dumb question?
The one that's not asked.
Can I ask a dumb question?
Go ahead.
That's a dumb question.
It's not a dumb question.
I'm asking you if I can ask a dumb question. That is by definition a dumb question.
By definition, a dumb question.
Yes, it's
Okay.
dumb.
Listen to me. When it comes to education, first, here's what I believe about college. It's number one, it's a business first. And they've been around for years.
So who's the customer?
Who's the students?
And so who's getting screwed over?
I don't think students are getting screwed over because it's a choice. Nobody's forcing you to go to college.
So do you believe anything that makes money is a business?
That's the definition of it.
So the scam call centers in India are businesses?
I don't know if I want to call them scams. I don't even know what you're talking about.
You don't know if you want to call a scam call center scams?
All call scammers is not a scam.
The call centers in India, they call Americans and tell them that they're from the IRS or they're with the Social Security Administration. They get people to give them their information and then they just take these people's money.
Yes,
but they
that's-
run them like businesses. They have payrolls, they have office buildings in India for these people that are scammers.
Yes.
That's not a legitimate business, right?
No, it's not.
So a college that says that they're educating people, that has people graduating unable to find employment, it means that they are in fact not educating them properly.
So, but you know one thing about these people that went to college, at least whether they graduated or not, won't fall victim to? Those scammers in India.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes some type of education to know that somebody's trying to scam you.
Well, of course they're not going to fall victim to, because those people go after old people because old people have money. The young people don't have money because they gave it all to the college.
Again, you said everybody, when you say we and they, I have a lot of educated friends that went to college. My wife, she actually graduated from USF right here in Tampa,
What'd she get her
Florida.
degree in?
Mass communications.
And what is she now?
Hold on. Ask me, is she using it? Absolutely.
She's a secretary.
No, she's not. She's an administrative assistant, and her
An
skills.
administrative assistant is a secretary.
That's your definition of a secretary.
That's literally what it is.
My wife don't answer phones. Secretaries answer phones.
Does she answer your phone?
No, she does not.
So then she's an office manager. Okay, but that's different. But
Okay.
then she would have gotten a degree in office management.
She's a VP. So if you let me finish, her college education that she got,
Still has her answering to someone without a college degree.
she works for her own company. What are you talking about?
She doesn't work for you?
Yes.
That's your company.
It doesn't matter. It's her company too.
But isn't it more, are you 51% owner?
Yes. It
So then
doesn't
it's
matter.
your-
It doesn't matter. You know why it
does she
doesn't
work
matter?
for you?
Listen.
Are you, the buck stops with you, correct?
Listen. She's the boss. I answer to her.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Trust me,
listen.
I know what you mean.
Listen.
I definitely answer to my wife
I
as
answer
well.
to her. But the most interesting thing about it is because of her education.
That's not why.
It allowed us, hold on. Listen, it allowed
There's some
us-
serious funny business going on. 'Cause
Listen.
for one, there is some intermingling of
Look.
professional and home life going on in your
Listen.
business. She has a relationship with the CEO
Sure,
that HR would not approve of.
So I had to marry her and snatch her up, and now, business went from here to here because she had, listen, when we do contracts and stuff, you have to have,
A second set of eyes. I agree.
no, you don't need a second set of eyes because I can buy those at the store. You need somebody with some type of intelligence or some type of education from college that went through courses that they can understand stuff.
But I bet she could understand it before she went to college.
Listen, she's
intelligent people go to college and they're still intelligent, and stupid people go to college and they're still stupid.
I agree with that 1,000%.
And then also, I think sometimes people's ability to articulate is not representative of their intelligence. I've encountered people who were so intelligent that they couldn't dumb things down enough for other people to understand them.
Listen, this is us as a whole, as a country. We're slowed down for the weakest link. We're only strong as our weakest link. And
were you challenged in high school? Were the assignments challenging to you?
No, not at all.
I remember being in high school and being like, there's no way they think that we're this stupid. I was bored to tears for the 1 year I even went to high school. All the rest I was homeschooled, and then I went to high school for 1 year. It was remedial. The Ohio graduation test that I took, it's like an 8th grade test. This is an embarrassment. Why is the standard on the floor? Why do we expect so little? Do you know that when America was first founded, the standard of what they expected from people between the ages of 15 and 20 was significantly different than what we expect from people the ages of 15 and 20 now?
You say that again?
The standard of what was expected. If you just looked at like what people accomplished and at what age and how they were accomplishing it compared to what people are doing now.
Well, you're talking about a different era. You're talking about our first...
But are people less capable now because we expect less? I believe people will live up or down to the expectations you set for them.
Well, considering in our American history, our first 9 presidents? I would have to look this up, but we had 9 presidents that wasn't educated, didn't have a college degree.
So you're familiar with the Gronkowskis, right?
No.
So the Gronkowskis are a family. Rob Gronkowski played for the Bucks. He played for the Patriots.
Yes.
Right. It was a family where the dad played in the NFL, and somehow he created a culture among his children that I believe 4 of his kids played professional sports. The odds of, and I think 3 of them were in the NFL, the odds of a single family having that many professional athletes and then having that many professional football players, extremely rare. He set an expectation for them, and they met the expectation he set for them. I believe people will live up to or down to the expectations you set for them. And I feel like, frankly, we're setting the expectation entirely too low.
I mean, the Bush family did the same thing. Bush was president, his son became president, and he had another son became governor. And that is true. When you set the standard for your family, not all people do it. Either they're going to go, like the Bible says, if you train a child up in the way they should go.
Even when he is old, he won't depart from it. But it doesn't say he will never depart from it at any point during his life. It says when he is old, he will not depart from it. Yeah. Meaning that there's a possibility for him to go away from it and then come back. But I think that the most important takeaway from this is I believe that there are important college degrees, but I also firmly believe that there are many college degrees that are completely useless. I know you disagree on that. That's why we're having this discussion. I do not think that education is useless, but I think much of the education that is required for life can be obtained online and can be obtained for free, as long as you choose the right area. Obviously, you're not going to become a doctor or a brain surgeon with education from online. You should go to med school, you should graduate, you should do your residency, etc. for things like that. I would say I am not a fan in general of government regulation, but I do think that regulation has its place. I think people should be licensed when they're dealing with gas for plumbing, right? So that they're not blowing people's houses up or flooding people's houses out. I believe that people should be licensed when they're dealing with construction. You don't want your house to fall over on someone because you weren't licensed and you just threw it together willy-nilly. I think people should be licensed for tree removal. I don't want somebody swinging a big tree over my house with a crane that doesn't have a license. That was one of the things we talked about on your podcast was you need more licenses to
do nails and feet and cut hair
than you do to cut a tree.
But the state of Florida don't require a license to do one of the top 3 dangerous jobs in the world.
It's the #1 most dangerous job in America. Technically, it's logger, but
it's in there.
Logger and tree removal.
Like in countries, you can't even own a chainsaw
without
being in that profession. You have to be in a profession. A homeowner can't own a chainsaw. It's like, because they get free health care, you're not coming there because you cut your leg off or something. It's like, it's such a no-brainer to us. Like, really? Who are the lawmakers, you know? It's like, who's our educated lawmakers, or why aren't we making the decision quick? Yeah, it's going to cost me more money, but if I can save a life by, hey, listen, I almost died with 7,000 votes because not only did I not have the education, quite frankly, I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
But how long had you been doing tree work at that point?
Probably 5 years.
So you did have some idea what you're doing. And you didn't actually touch the wire. Didn't it arc to the branch?
It arced over.
Yeah, that could happen to anybody. I've definitely been closer than that.
Yeah. And so, but it's still.
And thank God that I didn't get injured. I mean, I was in a lift and I had a branch fall down and touch the wire, and it was contacting the lift and the wire, and it was sparking. But I think because the branch was green, it wasn't a good conductor. Maybe because it was dead, it wasn't a good conductor, but for whatever reason, it wasn't conducting. And then the rail of the lift was aluminum. And is that a good conductor, a bad conductor?
Your mama was praying for you that day. Because aluminum, that's what they use now is aluminum wires instead of the copper wires to conduct electricity.
So it's very conductive. Yeah. So that, I mean, it's a miracle I did not get zapped, because I would have gotten zapped, because it wasn't one, it was 3 lines and it was coming across all 3. How many volts is that?
7,000 volts, 7,200 volts to be exact.
Per line or just
across the board?
So it doesn't increase because of the number of wires?
No.
Okay, that's good. But 7,000, you said, is more than enough to...
Yeah, it only takes 10 volts to electrocute you to death. 7,000 volts probably supply the power to like 1,000 homes at one time.
My goodness.
A 110 electrical outlet can electrocute you.
Really? So when you do electrical work at your house, you turn that...
I'm always flipping the breaker.
You're flipping.
We don't play. I
don't play with that either. Yeah,
I got testers to make sure that it's not live. We don't play with electricity. And so my lack of
anymore.
Education,
you did that one time.
Yeah, we don't do that anymore. I got 7,000 reasons not to play with it. Okay. So because of, and I talk about this in my book, 7,000 Volts, because if I can prevent 1 or 2 or just one person from making the mistake that I did by not knowing what I was, not being really versed or educated in what I was doing, it's worth the pen to paper to help somebody now down the road, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. Hopefully it can be a blessing to somebody and say, man, yeah, I need to know what I'm doing before I go any farther in what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
And
I want to make sure that this is very clear. In real life, me and Tucker are best friends. We are best friends. I call Tucker probably 3-4 times a day. If I have a question about something in business, I ask. Tucker is so much further along in the tree industry than I am, and I respect him tremendously. The most important relationship that you can have with a younger man and an older man, not that you're old, but like an older man, is that you learn from someone who knows more about the thing to which you would like to know. And I think my education is coming from him. And I think that that's very important because he's forgotten more than I'll ever know about trees. And I also, of course, I've been involved in the tree business for 15 plus years, but there's a lot of things I didn't know. And there's a lot of things that I've learned from Tucker. My first mentor was a guy named Luis, he had a tree service back in Ohio. But one thing Tucker is he's incredibly patient and he's very kind. I've never seen him raise his voice or lose his cool with anyone ever, which I can't say that about a lot of people. And we've had some difficult customers that were intentionally trying to get like a rise out of us, and you just didn't buy into it at all. You just kept it moving, and I have tremendous respect for you for that. I think, as a tradesman yourself, you wouldn't advocate more for trade school than you would for college based on what you now know about the potential to earn with a trade versus a college degree?
Well, my heart is for people, especially the younger man, whether you black, white, pink, whatever the color. I don't discriminate in color. I'm colorblind when it comes
I'm black,
to
by the way.
I didn't know this. One of the things, everybody can point out things that's going on in the community, and I want to have solutions to those problems. Me and my wife was talking earlier over the weekend. It's what can we do? What more can we do? As God lead us and continue to build our foundation, we want to offer like a trade school or educational piece where we can bring young people in and help teach, because that's what we do at Tucker Enterprise. I actually want people with no experience because it's easier for me to train and teach them.
You remember that time you took me to work with me and you cut that big watermelon and you said, "Here, boy, here's some watermelon."
Yeah.
You did.
Yep,
yeah,
absolutely.
That wasn't a joke, by the way. That was.
Yeah. So the thing that helps, I'm an advocate of making the right choice for your life, whether it be college, trade school, starting your business.
But you do recognize that trade school could be the right choice for a lot more people than are currently going.
It could. Would a college degree hurt? No. And here's my final reason why it won't hurt, because it teaches you things that you just don't know you need, whether you use it or not. Case in point, running a business, not only did college help me, but every job I've ever had has prepared me for now. I mentioned this in my book, 7,000 Volts, Living an Electrified Life.
What was your other job that you had?
Night auditor. That's one of the best teachers right there, because you got to learn how to balance your own books. You got to know where money's going, whether it's making you money. See, when I found out things wasn't making me money that I was doing, like maybe laying sod or putting a sprinkler system in my industry, and I saw it, I was like, man, this don't make sense. So when you don't make sense, you cut it out.
If it don't make dollars,
yeah, and
then
so
it don't make sense.
Well, working when I was in college, I worked there for a moving company. They taught us, don't walk empty-handed. If you're moving somebody out, don't come out of the house empty-handed. If it's just an empty box, you don't walk around empty-handed. When the room is empty, you close the door. So I teach my guys the same thing. Hey, what you doing? Oh, I'm going to the truck. Don't go to the truck empty-handed. Are we finished with that road bag? Are we finished with that? Take it back to the truck. And so you have to constantly be teaching guys, because if you don't teach them, then they don't know.
Well, you taught me to use the friction saver when rigging, because you said it's faster because you can set it and then pull it out, versus I was using a rigging thimble, which once you wind it up there, it takes a lot longer to put it in, and then you can't retrieve it from the ground.
Yes.
So that was very helpful.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are at the end of our time. Thank you so much for joining me, Mr. LJ Tucker of Tucker Enterprises.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you guys so much for watching. This has been the Joel Patrick Show, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Because that's me. Brown skin, but I lean right. Uncle Tom, cause I act white. Pro 2A, that's gun rights like a bald eagle. Okay, I know y'all never seen this, but I ain't driving no Prius. My MPG, that's 13. These girls, they keep on flirting. My Yeti, that's packed up. New lift kit, that's jacked up. 7.3, built for tough tires, kicking up. Dust from sun up to sundown, I'm bailing that hay. Rep that trade life, we working, grind day after day. I did not go to college, them loans ain't no factor. Your girl hits me up just to ride on my tractor. You can say what you want, I don't give a care. Still cruising down the road with my flag in the air. In my big orange truck with the King Ranch trim, cruising around the city in my 35-inch rims. I'm country, not because of my skin. It's not about what you are,